His name was Adrian, a traveler passing through town. He played melodies he had carried across cities, songs of longing and hope. Elena listened, her sketches forgotten. For the first time in months, her heart felt alive. Day after day, they returned to the bridge. She sketched while he played. He told her stories of the road, of starlit nights and endless trains. She shared the dreams she had always kept hidden, the wish to paint a mural on the town's gray walls, to fill them with color. "You should," he said firmly one evening. "The world needs people who dare to bring it light." When summer neared its end, Adrian confessed he would leave soon. His path stretched farther, beyond the borders of their quiet town. That night, Elena painted her first mural beneath the bridge, a girl holding a lantern, lighting her own way in the dark. When Adrian came to say goodbye, he found her covered in paint, her hands trembling but her eyes shining. "You gave me courage," she whispered. "And you gave me a reason to play," he answered softly. They didn't promise forever, life was too uncertain for that. Instead, they promised something truer, that wherever they went, they would carry a piece of this bridge, this summer, and each other in their hearts. Years later, travelers passing through the little town would still stop at the old stone bridge. Beneath its arch, they would find the mural, faded, but glowing still, of a girl with a lantern. And if the evening was quiet enough, they could almost hear the echo of a guitar, strumming softly over the river.
She loved the way the river reflected the glowing lights, how laughter filled the streets, and how the air smelled faintly of roasted chestnuts. But this year felt different, quieter, lonelier. She walked along the riverbank, clutching a lantern of her own, when a familiar voice stopped her. "Emma." She turned, and there he was, Daniel, her childhood friend, the boy who used to race her down the narrow streets, who once held her hand when she was afraid of the dark. They hadn't spoken in years, not since he left town to chase dreams that carried him far away. "You came back," Emma whispered. "I had to," Daniel said with a smile that was both nervous and warm. "I remembered what you once told me, that no wish is real unless you share it." He held up his own lantern, its golden light flickering gently. Emma's heart raced as if all those years had folded into this single moment. They knelt by the water together, their shoulders brushing. "What are you wishing for?" she asked softly. Daniel glanced at her, his eyes reflecting the lantern's glow. "I used to wish for success, for adventures, for things I thought mattered. But now," he hesitated, then amid weathered docks and pastel cottages, that Clara Bennett returned after nearly a decade away. At 28, Clara had built a life in the city, a stable job, a small apartment, a schedule that left no room for surprises. But when her grandmother passed away and left her the family's seaside bookshop, the Driftwood Shelf, Clara decided to spend the summer in Marlo Bay to decide its future. She intended to sell it quickly, close that chapter of her past, and return to her carefully ordered life. Fate, however, had other plans. On her second day back, while struggling to open a stubborn window, she heard a familiar voice behind her, still fighting her. She turned to find Ethan Rivers leaning casually against the door. He was older than the boy she remembered, broad shoulders, a faint stubble along his jaw, but the same warm blue eyes. Ethan had been a teenage crush, and the boy she had kissed beneath the fireworks the night before she went to college. They hadn't spoken since. Some things never change, trying to ignore the sudden flutter of her chest. Like you running away from small-town life, he teased. I figured you'd be too busy conquering the world to come back. I didn't plan on staying engaged. I'm just here to sort things out. Right, he smiled contagiously. Well, if you need a hand with the shop, I'm still around. And he was. Over the following weeks, Ethan stopped by often, fixing shelves, repairing the sign, even repainting the faded front. They talked like they used to, about books, about the sea, about the little things that were. But beneath every conversation was something unspoken, a tension neither dared to name. One warm August evening, after they had spent the day rearranging bookshelves, they walked along the beach as the sun melted into the horizon. Clara's hair danced in the breeze, and Ethan, watching her laugh at something small and new, realized he'd never stop. "Do you ever think about staying?" he asked suddenly. Clara hesitated. "Sometimes," she admitted softly, "but everything I built was somewhere else. My job, my friends, my life. And what about you?" he asked. "What if there's someone worth building a life with here too?" She looked up at him, the weight of all the years between them heavy in her chest. "Ethan,"